Okay, test. Are we live on YouTube? Okay, perfect. All right. So, my apologies about earlier. Um, I forgot to do the changes through YouTube didn't go through, so my apologies on that. So anyways, let us begin with today. Welcome back to well, first again, 大家好，我是刘中正, and today I want to talk about the recent news happening in Boston. Sit properly and connect to my computer. Okay, chuck it up. So I got the article came out. This is a local one called the Belmontonian. Okay, so the Belmontonian is a local news source for the town of Belmont. News in the town of Holmes. That's the thing. So 1 second. Um, my sister's texting me. She's like, oh, so let me just resolve that real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, and I think we should be good. Um, I just want to get the chat access. Okay. All right. Yeah. I had to I had to grab my water. Because it was too far away. So, um, to begin, I hope you guys are doing well today. I think the chat is working on the YouTube studio. I hope it keeps up. Um, Hopefully it doesn't just lag on and like you guys aren't saying anything back to it. So, the recent headline that they posted was, "Goodbye trolleys. MBTA prepares for rechargeable buses on the 73 line by 2024." And in replacement, they're putting diesel buses. Like I don't understand the point of that. We like the thing is that okay. So what we have here in my photo, right, is the 52 line. That's the one that dropped me that's in Wartown. It goes through the Wartown Yard, and this is your standard diesel bus for the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, or MBTA. These are the most common ones that you'll see if you come to Boston and ride our buses. We do have like the traditional trolley looking ones, but those are for like tourism. They don't count. And we also have like those duck look. We have like these amphibious ones. Those are also not related to public transportation. Those are also a tourism thing called the duck tours. They like to go through like the Charles River and stuff on, I believe. Kind of cold. Actually, wasn't kind of cold, but oh well. So, this is written the 25th of January, which is yesterday, 2022, by Franklin B. Tucker. Okay, I just want to give him credit because he's the one that wrote this article and brought my attention to it through Google. I like to keep up with some of the local news. I don't keep up with everything because of course I can, but I still try to keep up as much as I can. And to begin, right? I'm actually kind of chilly. I have the heater running, but it's on the outside of the room. Oh my god, this shouldn't be happening. Okay, I'll just ping my Discord group. Hey guys, here's your YouTube ping. Join up. So yeah, the 73 will not be running the trolley buses anymore. Uh, there is no definite date for the last day of service, but they say they will be expecting it by around Marchish. When in March? Who knows? And uh, well, like literally, who knows? The MBTA, according to the Tucker here, right? Franklin Tucker, not the Fox Tucker, right? The one who runs Fox is different Tucker. Okay, don't associate the two together. They're two completely different people. Okay, so the I'll kind of read along the article as well. If you guys, oh, you know what's good? Let me just copy this link and send it to you guys in the chat. Dang, I feel like a teacher now. All right, there you go. That's the link. It should be working. It should work if you guys want to follow along in a way. So it begins with showing a photo, right, of our trolley buses, which is basically the diesel one, but with the pantograph on top, and with canner with the overhead wire above. Yeah, yeah, that's the Belmont, the Bel. Yeah, I can't pronounce it properly the first try. Belmontonian. I tried to say it a couple times earlier. I did fine, but now I'm live, so maybe that's why. But yeah, yes, Matthias, that is the link for the article that I'm reading from. So, um, you first see the trolley bus. Like I said, it's basically a converted diesel. So like we have like the regular diesel buses, right? Like the one that I show in my actual live stream photo, right? That's the 52 bus. That bus is your standard diesel. Oh, other thing, no, 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 no. So the 52 bus is a diesel bus, and that's the one that we use in Massachusetts. Yeah, and the one in the actual article, right? That's a trolley bus. That's the one with like I said the pantograph. That's the weird little thing that sticks out on top of it, and it kind of like just runs up along the overhead wire, and that's where its electricity comes from. So instead of being like some sort of battery, it's a direct electricity. I prefer the direct electricity, to be honest. So I'm just going to read a little bit of the article. One of Belmont's most notable features is the MBTA's trackless trolley, with accompanying electric wires running nearly the entire length of the town along Belmont Street and Japello Road, well, which will be coming to an end in March after more than 60 years in service. So one thing to know about the trolley bus, the reason why they have the trolley buses, right? It's a trackless one because it doesn't run on rails; it runs on tire wheels. The reason why they use a trolley bus was because back in the day, right, there used to be a regular actual trolley. The light in the States we usually say light rail, and these would run along the railway tracks through the town or through the city. In Massachusetts, we still have the Green Line. If you do watch my videos, you do see the Green Line a lot. That's our light rail system. So we had some they're not like they don't look exactly like that. They're more like the traditional style what you think of as a trolley. So they used to run through places like Belmont, and they are electric, of course. And the best part about it is that it's direct electric, meaning they don't require a battery. And during the 40s and the 50s, they started ripping up the rails or covering it up with asphalt in favor of other means of transportation. In many cases, they just straight up they went from the trolleys to the trackless trolleys, like the 73. And the thing about it though is that in a way the trackless trolleys are a little bit better in some aspects than your traditional trolley, mainly because it doesn't have the issue of being restricted to the rails. Now, I have no problem with that. It's just that especially in some areas where it's not like grade separated, like with the green line, right? If you saw my Harvard Ave video, you see like how you can only cross the green line at certain intersections, and that's why at the intersections, right? And that's a great separation right there. Um, Many trolleys and many light rail in the states they didn't have that type of like grade separation. So what would happen is that cars would constantly cut off the trolleys in order to get past. You know what I mean? And that slowed down the trolleys. It slowed down the services. It was also very dangerous for the roads. Now, I don't think it's the fault of the trolleys or the trolley drivers because they're in their supposed designated lane, and if you want to think of it like that, and all these cars, they're basically, going the legal making like what I'd consider illegal turns. It's a rail line. It belongs for the trains,
and you only cross them when you have to take turns and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you gotta take a left turn, and I'm sorry, if you gotta take a right turn. Wait, no, I was right. Like if it's a two-lane road, if it's two-lane road, right? One going one direction, one going the other, and in the middle is like a trolley, right, with the rails and everything. If you try to take a left turn, yeah, you're gonna have to cross the rails for sure. But like it got to the point where people were driving in front of the trolley and causing traffic for the trolley. You know, the trolley basically was integrated with the road traffic, and it caused a lot of issues, especially with services, to the point that people just started going into using cars instead of the trolley. And as a result, it just worsened the surface more and more because less people were using it, which meant less revenue because of the tickets. They're not getting enough people using the service, and also even worse service because not only are they not getting enough revenue, but cars will also, because people were moving from trolleys to cars, that also meant more cars on the road, and that exacerbated the problem. Um, I understand the solution for the trackless trolley as a way as a substitution, though I do prefer having it, a regular traditional on rail trolley. Now, um, no, that's the history side. We can talk more about the decision that they made. Right. So, as part of the MBTA's modernization plan for bus travel, the heavily used 73 bus line from Harvard to Harvard Square to Waverly Square will be serviced by a fleet of new electric-powered buses that will be recharged at the T's bus service facility in North Cambridge, thus making the overhead cables obsolete, according to uh, Patrice Garvin, the town administrator, in a report to the select board on the 24th of January on Monday. So, my major qualm with this is that they want to introduce a new fleet of new electric powered buses, right? The thing is that they're already electric. The reason why those overhead wires are there and why the bus has a pantograph on it, right? To connect it towards the catenary overheads is because it's an electrical wire. What's the point of transitioning from trackless trolley to just to a battery powered one? I don't I, I don't understand it. The battery powered buses I think are worse because have you ever used a battery before? Like you can recharge it, but it's just not as good as a constant energy. You know what I mean? Like, um, all right. So you guys understand how lithium and other rare metals are work, right? Like at one point, the batteries can't, they're gonna decay to the point that it can't be used anymore. You can recharge them all you want, but eventually you will have to replace it. And I have qualms with the lithium industry and with batteries in general. Like you will need it for some things, right? Like I understand that, but we should be, making choices, especially on an economy of scale, to reduce how much we use, especially because of how inequitable the industry is. There's been a lot of concern with child labor, especially in South America for these lithium mines. And yeah, what's up? What's up, Matthias? Oh yeah, Matthias, aren't you you're in South America, right? You are aware? Have you heard about this issue, the one about lithium in the region, like with the whole use of child labor to mine the rare earth minerals? Yeah, exactly. Like, so the current thing is that we have the current ones we have for the 73 route at least, it's cable. It's cable dependent. The cables basically it's connected through the pantograph. So like it kind of like it connects and slides against each other. And so that's how the power comes from. Like that's how it's connected. Um, if you ever use like one of those wireless chargers for your phone, right? You kind of like just set the thing on like the table or something, and you set your phone on top of it, right? It's very similar to that, where like it charges through the connection of just the two touching each other. So when the pantograph and the wire touch each other, right? It basically gives the electricity. You don't need a battery for it. But for some reason, they want to go to battery. I don't understand that. Plus, you also have to have a whole new fleet And the thing is that batteries are heavy, so you're reduce you're putting more weight on the vehicle, which is already heavy because a bus is heavy. On top of that, you have to have a battery for it, and that's just going to cause more degradation of the road faster, because as the heavier the vehicle is, the more damage it does to the roads. That's why semi is also a problem for the roads, and why roads in the states are horrible. We have big, heavy trucks and cars and SUVs running all over the road, and that's the main reason for why the roads degrade so easily. It's not because of maintenance problem. It's because, well, we're literally destroying the road by using it. Like our roads are literally being destroyed, to say the least. Now, so the notification, right, was given to the town last week that the final trackless trolley trip will travel through Belmont sometime in March. Sometime in March, according to Patrice Garvin. Sometime, no date, no exact date. Like, oh, it's gonna close on the 20th. It's gonna close on the 21st. Close on the 3rd, the 4th. So Matthias said that we don't even have trains anymore. Most of our railways in the War of the Triple Alliance, despite being the first nations in South America to have trains. You have some for travel, but not metros. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting to hear about. I do support a lot. I think trains are one of the best ways to to travel. It doesn't like how easy does the train, have to have to have railway maintenance? As far as I know, not as much as roads. Also in consideration, like there are a lot of like railways out there that have like no maintenance at all, right? And as long as you do like light services there, you basically can still run the railway fine, for 10 years, 20 years, until some major disaster happens, who knows. Um, like I know it's not the best thing to have, but we do have tunnels in the states that have not been renovated or fixed, or like probably, you know, like the services still run through it, and we all know that's degrade like the not the service, but like the tunnels are degrading. We still use them, you know, they're still running, and they last a long time. Roads I see, you know, I feel like I see like every day there's something happening, but that's just from me, you know. I've also grew up in the suburbs, so cars were a primary thing in life. Not a fan of it, but I mean, I had to live with it. So it is what it is. Now, I want to continue with this. So, but until the MBTA completes, so this is the other thing that the MBTA has to do, right? The MBTA wants has to have a 2-year transitional phase so that their facilities can be refitted to have charging ports for the buses. So they want to change this whole system, right? They want to get rid of the trackless trolleys and use electric ones, right? But they won't be putting the electric ones into service until they finish with the charging port facilities. If they want to do that, just keep running the trolley buses. The trackless trolley buses, keep running them. I see no point. What is like are these trolley buses old? Do we have like a major incident that I didn't hear about? You know what I mean? Did an overhead wire rip and fall onto the street or something, which is a very dangerous situation. Since it just works since the Industrial Revolution and the Victorian era. Yeah, a lot of trains do were built in that period. Um, the Industrial Revolution, I think we still have trains from that period, but most of the trains still in present day active service. A lot of them were built in like the late 1880s, early 1890s, at least here on the East Coast. I know that the Boston, right? Our metro began around, I think, 1896, I think. was when our subways were in use. They used to be streetcar tunnels and stuff, but then they upgraded it to standard metros. I think in like the 1910s or 1920s. Um, if there's any like historian in my area, I would love to, you know, love for them to correct me on that. So, let's see. Am I okay? I'm still on. Still on. So, the board chair Adam Dash, right? He says that so the MBTA is saying they're going to take down the electric wires that run the electric buses, turn diesel buses to convert the electric buses, which makes zero sense. Welcome to the MBTA. Um, this is something I agree fully with. I agree that this is a horrible idea. So, oh, yeah, I forgot to mention about the was about the transition. So so they want to change over to, like I said, they want to change over to electrical buses, like battery electric buses, right? Not trolley electric buses, because we have that. In about 2 months' time, they're going to get rid of our trolley bus fleet, and then they're going to replace the line with diesel. They want to replace our line with diesels. Why are they going to replace 73 with diesel buses? They're already electric. Why do we need to go from electric to diesels? Don't de-electrify our system. I feel like we should have learned not to do that. Um, for like for a long period of time in the States, we used to be number one in electrification, but now we're not. We used to be number one in railways and everything. You know, we're not the leaders of progress anymore. Um, I like I have you get these expectations, especially that you should be expecting, especially from a country that prides itself in these type of things. Especially in like the Trump era, they always pride them. The states prided themselves in being like number one, being the best. That's fine and all, but we didn't even make steps towards it. We were still in the gutter, to put simply, and it's not a good gutter. It's dark and dirty and smells, and I don't think we should stay here anymore. We should be moving on. I would love to move on, but we're not. Like the MBTA is making steps towards making their system better, making the lines better, and improving the services. But the problem is that sometimes we do take steps back, and I hate it. I really do. The trackless trolley buses is like to have that instead of just no worries, no worries. A great train seat. uh, a train CEO of who though? I mean, we have Amtrak. What do you want me to do? Run the MBTA? I don't think I can run the MBTA. That they might piss me off. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I could become a train driver. I heard they increased the pay too to like $15 for trainees and like 21 I think for streetcar drivers, I believe. Um, and also they had like a whole union thing that was a victory for the union. Good on them. Good on them. We need our workers to be properly compensated, especially for the type of stuff they're doing and these type of conditions. And so yeah, um, where was I going with this? Right. So the diesel cars, right? The diesel buses. We have no need for diesel in on the 50 on the 73. 73 is fully electric right now. It uses the trackless trolley buses, which are electrical, and to go to devolve to battery electric. Why? Why? there is no reason to do that. This is a waste of money, right? For the first to begin with, it's a waste of money. We need to. It's gonna take 2 years in order for the MBTA to be ready for these installments. I mean, I probably should take no more than a year. At least I think so. I think 2 years is a bit too much. You're taking your slow time. And for the second thing, instead of continuing the trackless trolley line, right, to continue using the current system until it's ready is also really it's also a development from the progress we've been making. Diesel is better than gasoline for sure, but electric is better than both of them. And as far as I know, I think ours is fairly clean. Like I get we do use coal for power at times, though we are building more alternatives, and so anytime we can have an electric whatever, right? Especially if it's electric that doesn't require a battery, and that could be like constant energy source, right? Like third rail or overheads, right? Or sunken in third rails, like the ones that go in the track so you can safely walk over, or so that you don't have to have overheads in certain areas. Those are good, you know, and they're much better than diesel or gasoline than anyone could ever want. I understand, like in a way, battery powered electric vehicles are better than the diesels or gasoline, but it's inefficient in my opinion. We have much better alternatives and much better options out there, because especially when it comes to direct or permanent routes, like that, like all our bus systems in Boston, right? With the exception of special circumstances, those buses will not be leaving their routes. Um, why would the 73 have to go off its route? I mean, like if there's a crash in front of upcoming, yes, you might have to take a detour. But in most cases, right, in a standard day, if you have like a standard day, right, you hop on your bus and you sit down, right. What are the chances for your average day that the bus is gonna go off of it out of its way to go off of its own route? I don't think there are any on an average day. And so that's why I think that, especially when it comes to buses or like any mass transit, right, that has a singular direct route that is planned out and everything and will not change for like basically most reasons. There's no reason why we have to have a battery or like major or like a or as battery as the primary source of energy. If it's a definitive route, just just put the overheads up. Just put the overheads, and just run the pantograph through it. There's, like I said, there's no reason why they should do it. So let's. Is there anything more from this? Um. So Adam Dash continues on that any work to remove the cables will be massively disruptive for residents. But Community Development Director Glenn Clancy said with his experience with MBT on the Chapello Road reconstruction project, it's likely that the work will be done at nighttime when fewer people are around. The trackless trolley, which is just a regular standard diesel bus, right, which is retrofitted to use overhead cables, replaced the historical streetcars in the 1940s that ran on rail tracks along the same route for nearly 75 years. The rails were never removed and lay under the blacktop under the route. And that's the end of the article. Um, this is such a disappointment. I live here. I thought Austin would be, one of the top cities in the States that would be actually making moves into improving, you know, improving life, improving its environmental goals, especially with COP26. Like, I get COP26 has a lot of BS in it, but it still doesn't, you know, it still doesn't excuse this country to not make any advances. We have the potential, We have the resources, and we're like the richest country in the world. Yet our people live like third world people. I don't get it. I really don't. It's and the things as far as I saw in the article, the route isn't changing. There's no change to the route. The only thing that's changing is the vehicles in use, which pisses me off even more. I mean, might as well keep the trackless trolleys. If you're gonna change from an electric to a diesel and back to an electric that's but worse than the current one, keep what we have. It's cheaper too for it's cheaper as well for the was it? It's cheaper for the MBTA to just replace the current fleet, right, with a new fleet of trackless trolleys instead of using diesels and then create a whole new battery powered version. You know what I mean? Besides, it does it really look horrible? I think it looks cool. You know, to see the bus with the pantograph sticking out. I think that's cool. On top of that, some people don't like fully agree with it, but also don't forget it's also on the street. Like, like if this was like 20s, maybe I understand why you don't want catenary over the streets because people walk there, but this is 1920s anymore. This is the 2020s. No one, you know, unless you jaywalk, I probably won't see you walking on the street, or unless you're crossing the street, I probably won't see you again on the street unless you're in your car. And it blows my mind. I really hope the MBTA reconsiders. I will definitely do my absolute best to take a trip on the 73 before they close that route. So I got 2 months. Um, I gotta plan it out. It's super cold. Like it's absolutely freezing in Boston right now. I took a 10-minute walk today. So I took like a nice little film today, which I'll be probably posting tomorrow because I'm posting this today of me walking around downtown, from Chinatown to downtown crossing back to Chinatown. It's it's so cold. It's so cold. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Um, what's 20 Fahrenheit in Celsius, like negative something? Negative 6, almost negative 7 degrees right now for my non-American audience. In my international audience, it's negative 7 degrees. For Americans, it's about 13, 15, 20. Sorry, 20. Probably less actually. If it was 15, if it was 15 Fahrenheit, right? So 15 degrees for my American audience, and negative 9 for my international audience. Negative 9 degrees and 15 degrees. Absolutely cold. I was out of my mind thinking I could survive out there for now. I told my grandmother, right, like, hey, I'm gonna go walk for like an hour. I want to get some, get exercise a little bit, get out the house a little bit. You know what I mean? It's nice walking in the city. Just step out of the house. It's pleasant. It's very pleasant. Even though it was cold, it was a pleasant walk. I could never have that in the suburb. I could never have that in the suburb. I can't just get up and walk in the suburb. Well, I could, right? But there's no enjoyment in walking in the suburb. It feels desolate, you know? Like, yeah, it's dark. Like, yeah, in the city it's dark and stuff. And sometimes there are places in the city where it's like just no lights and you might feel alone in a street. But even then, at least you have something, it doesn't feel desolate. Well, it's not as desolate as if I was walking in the suburb alone where it's dead. Like if there's no lights on the street, the suburbs for me feels much more scarier than the city. I don't know if everyone feels that way, but like I don't know. It just feels pleasant. It feels much more pleasant around here. I took my walk. I had my mini exercise today. Not the amount I wanted, but it was something. I'll probably go again tomorrow. In freezing cold, of course. Cut the video. Uh oh oh, you mean the old one? Oh, the old one is because I the setup was wrong. It wasn't the one it had the wrong setup. That's why I need to just restart and just reset it up again. The whole formatting of it was wrong. It was from my prior stream because I forgot to change it like a dummy, and so I just reset it so I can fix it because that's just gonna be like, it's a video about seeing censorship. No, I did that like a week ago. Was it a week ago? I don't remember. Um, uh, yeah, massive bro. So the child labor in South America. So, all right, so for people who don't know, right, Matthias he lives in Paraguay, and in Paraguay apparently it's illegal to have child labor if forced, but they can do minor jobs if he wants even wants to sell things. So the sound of it probably like the Paraguayan of it, equivalent of an American kid selling lemonade, I guess, or like little bee, like little bead necklaces or armbands, something like that. Is that correct, Matthias? My description of what a Paraguayan kid would probably be doing if they were selling something. At least that's like my American equivalent of it, I believe. I hope I'm not talking too fast, especially when you know when I'm like speaking to people. I do notice my voice does hasten a little bit, but also because of the cold, I'm speaking much faster as well. I hate myself so much. I hope you don't hear snap. I hope you don't hear a lot. That's just okay. So I'm correct. I'm correct. Okay, cool, awesome. So at least in Paraguay, they have laws, child protection laws. So as far as I know, the other countries might have some problems. I have heard some news about I think it was Bolivia. I think it was Bolivia or Colombia. Bolivia or Colombia. I forgot which one exactly, but I know Paraguay wasn't on the list. Paraguay wasn't on the list of countries that had this issue. It was more of the countries I think in the north and Argentina and Chile, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. This was like a while back. Um, I did watch a guy called I think this guy right, Brain for Breakfast. Good guy. I wish he was still making videos, but he doesn't anymore. He has sadly passed away. Um, he did a video on the lithium triangle in South America. Very great video. I suggest you guys take a look. Also in respects to his work. He did something. He had something police out of this world. Um, Another guy named Carl. He's been I feel like he's like the new version of Brain for Breakfast. He has quality posts. He seems to explain things very well and well researched. He's very was it when it comes to his like anything that's happening over on channel, he's very transparent to his audience, and I love it. I absolutely love it. He's worth a watch. Even even from his new videos to his old videos, worth a watch. He does amazing. They both do. They both do. And I hope crowd keeps up with the quality. Is there something else you guys want to Matthias in particular? Because I think you're the only one watching. I did talk basically about the whole article, and it took me what 40 minutes, I think. Almost 39 minutes so far. Uh, but yeah, I don't like this new plan. I really don't. Like to to go from direct electric to diesel and then battery feels like a really shitty plan. Just saying, it feels really horrible. Like MBTA has done some pretty hype things, in my opinion. Like hype, right? Um, I don't know how much of it is true, as I haven't ridden the train in like a month up until this week. I was stuck in the suburbs. I was stuck in the burbs. But now I'm back. It's just kind of cold. I can't go anywhere. Maybe if I went on like the metro, like the subway metro, right? Not like the green line. I could probably be fine with that because of zero. It's decently warm down there. It's pretty. Like when I was walking today, I had like a nice flush of warm air coming from the station as I walked by. It helped. It helped me get through a little bit better than if without. And so yeah, that's the majority of what I wanted to talk about today was the 73 MBTA line in Belmont. The Belmontonian, they had their wonderful article by Franklin B. Tucker posted yesterday. Give clay. I don't have clay. I have no clay. No, 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 no clay for me. From me, not for me. No clay from me. So I will do my best to ride the 73. I want to record my first and also last time on that trackless trolley because I want to, experience it by myself before they go back to the standard diesels. It is what it is. I don't know what I could particularly do. Like as far as I know, there is no like city council event or something in Belmont happening, and plus I don't live in Belmont. I've never ridden either, so good Godspeed to the Belmontonians, uh, fellow neighbors in the north of Boston. That you guys can hopefully fight this. I hope my video does bring some attention to people because, especially when it comes to MBTA news and like local stuff, a lot of people tend to, brush aside it, um, and I'm not in, it feels particularly bad. Uh, I don't feel like I could probably speak in place of people from Belmont, but these are my opinions on it. I think Belmont should keep their trackless trolley. It is a environmentally friendly option out there, and switching to diesel just makes it's like it will still emit greenhouse emissions because if the electricity came from a coal factory, it will still emit greenhouse emissions just through the factory that that's burning the coal for electricity. But it's a better option than straight up diesel in my opinion. But also diesel is better than taking your car. I'm not saying for people to stop using the bus and take your car. That's stupid. That's like that's like the last thing I'd tell you to do, or the last thing to encourage you to do. I love trains as well. Um, I also the another thing. So there are two things about trains, right? One, I love them, right? I enjoy the feel of it. Two, I feel more free riding a train than taking my car. I don't have to. I feel better not having to force my attention onto the road and be able to focus more on scenery. That's something I feel much more comfortable about. Yeah, comfortable about. And the other thing is like I've always wanted to drink on a train. Like I know like once I get to drinking age, just ride the train and drink. I'd never had a drink while driving. I've never had a drink before driving, let alone after driving. I mean, I have at home. It's legal in my state to drink under parental supervision on our own property within the house, as long as you're I believe above 16. So I I'm able to legally drink at home, but like I don't know. I just don't like alcohol. I honestly don't. Honestly God, I don't like alcohol. Once in a while, I take a sip, but it tastes disgusting. I could never finish a beer myself. I'd ask for like a shot glass. Like my buddy, right? If him and I or her and I decide to go out to a bar and like let's go drink, I'm probably gonna be sitting at the bar with like tonic water, or ginger ale, maybe a little bit of beer or spirits or whatever it is they're drinking, into my drink just a little bit. Like I could, at most, like at the absolute most, I'd probably drink that much. I couldn't like if you gave me a bottle of beer, right? I'll take like two, three sips at most, and I'm like, no, I'm done. That's enough for me. That's enough for me for like a whole month. Like sometimes like I'm at home like, oh, oh, you want a sip of the wine or a sip of the beer? I'm like, sure. Take a sip, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. That's. Oh, you want more? No, 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 no. Too much for me. That's more than enough that I can handle. Um, Shot tequila will knock me out. So I know my limits. Of it's not hard to reach my limits. One shot of like hard liquor and I'm completely wiped asleep. So if I ever do go to the bar, I'm probably not drinking alcohol if you ever see me. Maybe baijiu, right? One at least one time in my life I want baijiu. Like maybe when I turn 21, I could probably get a shipment from China or something. I would at least once. Yeah, you joke all you want about my low alcohol tolerance. Champagne also, like I think I can handle champagne a little bit better than beer. I think I can. I don't know. It might just be the fact that it's sparkly that I can handle drinking it more without feeling weird because like I don't know. Beer has this weird aftertaste I hate, and wine has this horrible smell I can't stand. Plus, it tastes bad straight off the bat for me, and I don't like wine. Um, what else did I talk about? I mean, I got a little bit of time. Um, I was thinking maybe keeping this up for like an hour and then ending the stream, but I mean, I'm just talking now. There's nothing. Drinking game. Drink one shot for each kilometer really built by you in the roleplay. Oh, okay. One shot per kilometer, right? Matthias, I think is too much for me. Okay? I've already built like 500 kilometers of railway for Nanyang, and then they ordered another like 100 kilometers, I think, for their rail line. And then you asked for the Bangalore route in India. That's like another 200, 300, I think it was. I forgot how much the line was. And then the Qing Dynasty was planning for a Shanghai Beijing route. That's like 1,000 kilometers. You're crazy. I haven't even finished the was it the route between Harbin and Changchun, let alone Fengling to Zhangjiakou. I finished Zhangjiakou to Guyuan, but that's it. I got two more mining branches to do in that area. I can't survive. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me like that. That's like what 2,000 shots of alcohol. You're asking me to die of alcohol poisoning. No, 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 no. Also, I love. Oh, okay. Um, cool idea, right? I could probably do a open TTD game. If you guys don't know, open TTD is short for Open Transport. Wait. Okay. Open TTD. I had a mind blank on the name. Open TTD, right? Is short for Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It's a transportation primary game where you basically run your own transportation company, right? And you can build rail lines, or you can build bus lines, or you can build lorry lines, or you can build ferries, or you can build airports. I It's a fun game. I can always maybe sometime in the future, on my downtime or after I do all my homework, I can probably like you know meet up with you guys on a stream and just play. Now, the thing about me about playing games is that I get super quiet, like like deadpan sometimes. I think it was my Hearts of Iron 4 in Hearts of Iron 4, I think it was, or Minecraft. No. EU4, that's the one. So in European Universalis 4, and some of my Hearts of Iron 4 games, I'm like deadpan silent. It's just you just sit like I can have an open mic and I won't say anything. Like my mic is open, you know what I mean? It's like I can talk whenever I want. The moment I open my mouth, my mic will, you know, um, pick up my voice. And unless I have someone talking in chat, so I can answer something, you're just gonna see me play. I just go mad, mad, super silent. And like sometimes I play and I'm so quiet, and if I don't have any music or sound playing, you probably wouldn't know I was sitting in the room unless you heard me clicking and tapping on my keyboard. It gets insane. It really does. I don't. I think I'm only allowed when it comes to FPS games, like first-person shooters. But to be fair, I'm really bad at games. Like I suck. Um, I played the Stealth Pacific Truth game. I got stuck in like this one area, and I just gave up on the game. I had to get help to get. I think like at some point I did get help, and I finally got to finish the whole campaign and all. But like, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. OpenTTD as well. My first game, absolute struggle, absolute struggle. I couldn't get the my trains up, and they kept crashing. And then the one I had before the current game I'm in, um, it's an alright one, but there's a lot of issues. One thing I get really deep into, yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't commentate. I'm just my mind just runs. It just goes into like autopilot running, no commentary exactly, and you don't hear me say anything. I don't know. It's like a quiet game. I could probably say no commentary on the thing, and then that can clear everything up. But like sometimes I do speak in it, so it's not purely no commentary. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, I think that's kind of it, to be honest with you. And literally, you, Matthias, you're the only one here. You're the only one that stayed. I think someone else joined, but then they left like after like a minute or two. But yeah, um, OpenTDD. One thing I do get really addicted to in OpenTDD is naming my trains. Like I get so into it sometimes. It's insane. I pull up so many names. Like one time, like I think it was the previous game I had. Like all of my resource routes, right? The ones moving like my iron ore to the steel mills and the goods from the steel mills to the cities and everything, and like coal mines. Um, like literally, they were all named city of whatever. I just pulled up a Google map of like of the greater Boston metro area, and I just went ham. It was like city of Watertown, city of Randolph, city of Quincy, city of Braintree, city of Avon, city of Lexington, city of Lynn, city of literally the city of Boston as well because Boston's its own city. What else was there? City of I think Concord. I think I put Concord up there. City of Cambridge, city of Revere, city of Belmont. I think I put Belmont, or maybe town of Belmont. The thing is that I didn't check for the distinction of if it was a town, if it was still considered a town or a city, like Randolph, right? It's one town south of Boston, and it's still technically called Town of Randolph, but it's still a city. You know, a lot of towns in Massachusetts stuff like that. Like it would be Town of Braintree, but it's technically a city. It's just that they kept the name Town. Maybe it sounds a little bit more homely, I guess. I don't know why. But we're all like a lot of us in a lot of the suburbs in the south of Boston, especially, they like to hold the name town, but they're not really towns. They're still cities because of the population is like massive. I think Belmont, right? Belmont has like 28,000 alone, and Lynn is like 35,000, and then there's also Revere and everything. I think Lynn has more actually. It has more than 35. I think Braintree has like around 32 and right now at 28. And then Quincy I think is around 40. Um, I'm just throwing numbers at that point. Let's see. Let's check. City of Lynn, MA. City of Lynn, right? Lynn, Massachusetts. How many people are in Lynn? I don't know for sure. I think I said 35, right? Oh shit, it's 101. It's 100,000. Oh my god. Oh, oh what? You gotta be kidding me. There's 100,000 people in Lynn? What? I did not know that. Okay, let's check Quincy. Okay, Quincy, I said 40,000, but based off of Lynn, I think it's maybe 60,000. Let's see. 101, almost 102,000 in Quincy. I am so off. Alright, is Braintree 50,000 then? Braintree. No, not the company. Braintree, the town. Braintree, Massachusetts. Town of Braintree. I'm pretty sure it's a city though. Yeah. Yeah, although officially known as a town, Braintree is a city. Yeah. Braintree shares the same thing. So I changed it. Okay, so my initial estimate of 40,000 was actually correct. It's currently 39,100. Okay. How much is Randolph? It's like south of it, right? I think. Yeah, Randolph. Okay, how much is Randolph? I said 28. 34,000. Oh, oh, I was off. Okay, how about Holbrook? I think, okay, based off of Randolph 30 at 34 and Braintree at 39, I think it said, right? I think Holbrook's around 35. Let's see what. Oh, Holbrook has 11,000. Oh, oh, um, so it does vary. It varies quite a bit. Wow. Okay, I checked Quincy already. Um, okay, what's the other one? How many people like Cambridge? Cambridge, MA, right? Cambridge. No, not the UK one. I want the US, the Massachusetts one, right? The one I go to for really good ramen. They have really good ramen in Cambridge, right in Harvard Square. All right, let's see. Wow, wow. A lot of people live here. I didn't think it was this packed. Huh. Okay. This further resolves my oh streaming problem. Okay, there's probably buffering happening. Yeah, you guys might have some buffering problems. I think my CPU is getting a bit too much. Yeah, it's at like 28, 22% right now. So I'm just gonna so yeah, wow. Almost a lot of these, especially I thought the South was fairly populated. Wow. Lynn and Cambridge have 100 like easy like has like 100,000 each. Okay. Now I gotta check Watertown. Let me check Watertown. Watertown, MA. Where how many people live in Watertown? Um because if okay, 35,000. Okay, Watertown's 35,000. That's still quite a bit. What's another area in their region I can think of? Um I literally did like a whole I started making up Waltham. Waltham's a bit south, right? But still. It's more like the west side, but $65. Oh wait, this is the Waltham Middlesex. Really? It's that far up north? I thought it was more south. I swear it's more south. I mean, it's like west side, right? It's like I think it's like on 95, I believe. My sense of direction is starting to kill me right now. My sense of direction is like really hindering me right now. Oh shoot. Okay, let me see some other transit. Oh, just no cities, towns, and counties. Let's see. All right, let's check. Mm, when we check, Suffolk. Suffolk's in the north part. Yeah, Suffolk County. Suffolk County is so in the north side of Boston, right? Just north of Boston, like in the Boston area. So Boston area, um, the four shires, Boston. Okay, so this is like this is central. This is central. So this includes the actual city of Boston as well. Oh, I forgot about Hingham. I forgot about Hingham. How many people live in Hingham? 24,000. Okay. How many people live in Weymouth? I'm not even guessing anymore. 57. I quit guessing because I'm completely off on all these. Not. Sheesh. Oh, sheesh. That's insane. That's really insane. Um, I'm completely blown. That completely blew my mind. Just look at populations. So I've been building a little personal thing, right? Where I basically show. Yeah, what's up, Matthias? Don't worry, I'm ending the stream soon, so don't worry. I'm ending it like a little bit, but like I'm currently building a lot, like a current like a railway thing. Um, so there's a railway thing, right? That sorry, yeah, railway thing. So I'm building like a proposal map. Your country's bigger than Germany. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, the map looks well, cause that's because of the Mercator. I think it's called Mercator, right? But like the map that's like not global, globe shaped looking, it makes a lot of countries look smaller, bigger. Ecuador line. Like if you look at a map, right? Like your standard like paper map that's like on the wall or something. Greenland looks massive. It looks like the size of Africa, right? Or Greenland's maybe I think like a fifth of the size it shows on the map. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The closer you are to the equator, the the smaller it is, and the further away it is, the larger it looks. Like some places in Alaska look huge, and Canada too, and Russia. But on the map, an actual like globe map, it's not as big as it seems. Greenland's is the most um largest, I guess, example to say. So yeah, so I'm currently building a map, right, that shows that kind of like has a proposal plan that I would, that would I think it'd be pretty based for for Boston to have. But now after seeing this, I think I need more lines. It's not going to be enough to cover all those people. There's a lot of people in there. I know there were like I think 5 million, but I didn't think it'd be so much in the north. So I got to update the commuter line. I got to update my red line to go to Lexington, just like the proposal wanted. Um, and I also gotta make my Lynn line a little bigger because I have like a little loop thing that goes to Swampscott and I think Clifton, and kind of loops back in like so the blue line, right? It cuts off at Wonderland, but my proposal map that I want to make, right? Because someone gave me an idea through their proposal map for I think Grand Rapids. I was like, oh, this is a cool idea. Let me do the same thing but for Boston. So it's just based off of the initial MBTA map and just extended, updated. I haven't moved any of the original lines that they currently have, so wherever lines exist, they're still on my map as well. In addition, I do have additional lines as well. The blue line, for example, is like double the amount than what it is in real life, mainly because I extended not only to Lynn, but made a loop track through Swampscott, Clifton, Swampscott again, and back to Lynn. And I think I need to update it in order to have another branch. I might just make an entirely North Boston branch and a South Boston branch. The soft boxing wrenches is going to be mainly a couple, not too many, but just to ring. I need like a ring of like a suburban streetcar ring. You know what I mean? Because what we have is also kind of atrocious in my opinion. Anyways, how long I've been running this? An hour and 5 minutes. Plus, I gotta do some other stuff. It's getting late. So, anyways, Matthias, have a good night. I will see you in the Discord server. I'll probably do some updates tonight. Other than that, I'll see you and everyone else who watches this later um, soon, for another live stream. Anyways, have a good night. You're in the same time zone as me, so you get some sleep soon. All right, I need mine too. Hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time. 再见。